There's been a delay in jury selection in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. The judge postponing the last phase of the process until Monday
to try to get in contact with me, telling me enough is enough.
House, lots happened today. The big thing is there is still no jury.
In the Sean Diddy Combs case almost complete, prosecutors are preparing for opening arguments on Monday, but they admit there's a snag. One of their key witnesses against the rapper appears to have gone missing. This comes as we learn that Combs' ex-girlfriend, who was seen on video being assaulted by the rapper, is pregnant. Here's Les Trent.
Victim number 3 was going to be revealed when she took the stand, but the woman has apparently gone missing, and prosecutors say they've been unable to reach her.
People just get nervous, and this person could just be nervous and just has had second thoughts.
If the prosecutor can't find this witness, how might it affect the case?
Look, I don't think it's going to have a tremendous effect. The prosecution is going to call a number of alleged victims. So look, this is just one less.
If his claims are true, this seems like pretty much textbook witness tampering, right? I mean, it appears to be an effort to either, in some cases, intimidate witnesses from testifying against him, or there have been other reports of sort of inducing people to make statements in his defense. There was some allegation that in one instance this was a statement that he, in essence, dictated or drafted with a woman who made a statement that was attempting to rebut one of the accusers, I believe, in a civil case against him. I mean, witness tampering is bad. The things that Sean Combs is accused of are terrible. He pleads his innocence. The justice system will presumably work its way through.
It is likely that there is some underlying truth to at least some of the allegations. There might be a lot of underlying truth to a lot of the allegations. There's probably some bandwagoning going on. We spoke to an attorney who's for one of the alleged victims of Diddy a few weeks ago. I believe Amber Nomiki and I did, and they said they had calls, they had information, they had people, hundreds of them, come forward. They're not going to represent all of them. They're, which ones have evidence that can be compelling. What are the best cases to bring that? I also saw a story in the New York Post. This is from a week ago about Diddy stuff that I wanted to read the headline of. Woman claims she saw minors dressed as Harajuku Barbies at Sean Diddy Combs' FreakOFF parties, what he was describing there to Conan so many years ago. Said these were sex-fueled parties with what she initially thought were little people dressed as Japanese Barbies. And she said, this is her talking to TMZ, are those midgets? And she actually thinks they were kids dressed up in sexy.
Oh, gross.
So again, that's just from someone who provided this information to TMZ for a documentary. But pretty disgusting.
It is. No, that's.
Things are spiraling fast in Diddy's ongoing legal nightmare. And now the chaos has reached a whole new level. Witnesses are vanishing, jurors are backing out, and the trial itself has just been officially delayed. Reports are pouring in that Diddy is allegedly targeting key witnesses behind the scenes. And get this, he's now threatening legal action against his former bodyguard, Gene Deal, for speaking out publicly about the disturbing things he saw during his years working for the music mogul. But that's not all. Cassie, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, and one of the most high-profile figures in this case, is set to testify in court this week. And according to insiders close to the prosecution, she might need to be placed under federal witness protection. Why? Because sources claim Diddy and his team may be trying to interfere with her safety and intimidate her into silence. Prosecutors just dropped a bombshell. One of the key victims, identified in the case only as Victim 3, has mysteriously disappeared. As of now, there's no confirmation on their whereabouts, and speculation is swirling that Diddy may have something to do with their sudden vanishing. This is not the first time he's been accused of manipulating people behind the scenes to cover his tracks. Court records from the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where Diddy is being held, reveal something even more alarming. Despite being in custody, Diddy allegedly made multiple attempts to reach out to victims and witnesses, using family members and third parties to skirt detection. According to call logs, there's one instance where he tried contacting a specific victim more than 200 times, attempting to either pay them off or pressure them into staying quiet. That's not just desperation. That's calculated witness tampering. To avoid being directly connected, Diddy would call a family member and then have them add a victim to the line, making it harder to trace exactly who he was talking to. It's a sneaky maneuver, and one that shows just how far he's allegedly willing to go to keep the truth from coming out. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, has been one of the few people willing to go public with what he witnessed. And now, Diddy is allegedly threatening him too. Gene says someone from Diddy's camp contacted him recently, sending a message that said, "Enough is enough." But Gene isn't backing down. Tell Big Mama enough is enough? Tell Wolf's mama enough is enough? You can't, Gene said during an emotional interview. You tell all those people who supported you, those survivors, enough is enough. Nah, not this time. Gene claims he witnessed Diddy's abuse firsthand. He saw how women were manipulated, exploited, and in some cases, pimped out to music executives. And it was only after Diddy allegedly tried to drug Gene's own girlfriend that he realized how dark things had truly gotten. That was his breaking point. While everyone else around Diddy was locked into NDAs, silenced by fear or legal contracts, Gene wasn't, and he's been speaking out ever since. Diddy reportedly forced anyone who attended his infamous FreakOFF parties, where drugs, sex, and power games allegedly ran rampant, to sign airtight non-disclosure agreements. This included assistants, employees, and even other celebrities. These parties, which have become the stuff of whispered legend in the industry, allegedly involved not just Diddy, but a roster of powerful figures across music and entertainment. Now, some of those associates are being name-dropped in court documents, while others are quickly ducking out of the public eye. One of the most shocking developments? Bishop T.D. Jakes, the influential leader of the Potter's House megachurch, quietly stepped down as lead pastor just days after it was revealed that Diddy had been offered a plea deal. That deal reportedly included testifying against his collaborators and naming names. And now people are wondering, who exactly is Diddy protecting? And who is he willing to take down with him? Prosecutors are now convinced that many of the witnesses are in danger. As a result, the jury selection process has been halted indefinitely. The trial has been officially postponed, and legal experts say that federal witness protection may soon become a necessity, not just for Cassie, but for several other key figures connected to the case. Let's be real. This isn't just about Diddy anymore. This is shaping up to be one of the biggest celebrity trials in recent history. With millions of dollars, decades of influence, and countless lives caught in the crossfire, the stakes are beyond high. And with intimidation tactics allegedly happening even from behind bars, it's clear that this is more than just a legal battle. It's a fight for the truth. As more information comes to light, and with the possibility of more victims stepping forward, the question remains, how far will Diddy go to protect his legacy? And who's going to stop him? Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Diddy trying to silence the truth? Should more witnesses be placed under protection? And do you think this trial will ever reach a real conclusion? Or will the system protect the powerful once again? Stay tuned, because this is only the beginning. More bombshells just dropped in Diddy's unfolding legal disaster, and it looks like the pressure is hitting a boiling point. Leaked call records from the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, where Diddy is currently being held, have exposed some deeply disturbing new details. Not only was Diddy allegedly reaching out to witnesses in secret, but now it's been revealed that he was also attempting to buy their silence, offering hush money in exchange for dropped lawsuits and sealed lips. One especially damning incident involves a woman who filed a serious accusation against Diddy in connection to an ongoing case. According to reports, she was allegedly offered $10,000 to withdraw her complaint. And she did. While the payout was small compared to Diddy's immense wealth, the implications are massive, because this isn't just about money. Sources say the offer didn't come alone. There were strong indications of intimidation, veiled threats, and psychological pressure behind the scenes. And now, people are asking the hard question: how many more witnesses have been scared into silence? What's even more shocking is that Diddy's strategy has now taken a wild new turn. His legal team, what's left of it anyway, is reportedly preparing to flip the narrative completely. Instead of defending Diddy based on a lack of evidence or technicalities, they're planning to go after the victims. The first target? Cassie Ventura. That's right. According to court filings, Diddy's lawyers are going to argue that Cassie was the violent one in their relationship, and that Diddy only ever acted in self-defense. It's a classic abuser tactic. Flip the story, cast doubt, shift the blame, and make the victim look like the aggressor. But in this case, it's especially unbelievable. Why? Because there is literal video footage of Diddy assaulting Cassie in a hotel hallway. Footage that has now been viewed by millions across the internet. In the video, Diddy is clearly seen pushing, kicking, and throwing objects at Cassie. It's raw, undeniable evidence that contradicts every single claim of innocence his lawyers are now trying to sell, attempting to reframe that as self-defense is not only desperate, it's offensive. And this isn't the first version of the story Diddy's team has tried. Just weeks ago, they were floating a completely different excuse: that Diddy shouldn't be held legally responsible for his actions due to the influence of drugs and alcohol. According to their argument, Diddy's mind was too altered at the time of the incidents to fully understand what he was doing. His judgment was impaired, his behavior uncontrollable, and his crimes, allegedly, not really crimes. And the cracks in Diddy's legal defense are already showing. One of the most telling signs? His longtime law firm, Grubman, Shire, Meiselas, and Sachs, who had represented him for over 2 decades, officially dropped him as a client. After reviewing the evidence and the scale of the allegations, the firm apparently concluded that the case was a ticking time bomb. Sources close to the firm say they saw Diddy as unwinnable, and it didn't want their name associated with a defense that was doomed to fail. But Diddy isn't giving up, at least not yet. He's still fighting tooth and nail to keep the most damaging evidence out of court. His lawyers are currently challenging the search warrants that allowed federal agents to raid his homes in Los Angeles and Miami. They're claiming the warrants were overbroad and violated his Fourth Amendment rights. Their goal? To have all evidence seized during those raids thrown out, including tapes, digital files, hard drives, and even objects taken from his properties. It's a Hail Mary play, one that may or may not work, because even if a judge finds some part of the search unconstitutional, the mountain of evidence against Diddy keeps growing, from video footage to leaked texts, to audio recordings, to witness testimony. And now, with law enforcement looking deeper into Diddy's inner circle, more people might be dragged into this mess than ever imagined. Let's not forget, Diddy is not just a solo act. He's part of a web of connections in the entertainment industry. Business partners, collaborators, assistants, and other high-profile names. And with his world collapsing, there's growing speculation that Diddy might eventually flip and start naming names to save himself. If you're following this case, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment below with your thoughts, and subscribe for all the latest updates. This story is far from over, and you won't want to miss what's coming next.